Hello, this is Jade Edwards, the PBIS coordinator for the district, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on the changes that are coming to Q as far as behavior and referral entry. So you have received an email from me recently asking for rosters of staff to be able to train them on this system, and there were some questions about it. So I wanted to make a quick video so that you could get all of the information that you need to be able to proceed and go forward. So a lot of schools that were implementing PBIS were also using SWIS to be able to house their referrals and be able to develop charts and graphs that give them information about what's happening behaviorally on their campuses. Over the years, a lot of these schools have asked for Q to be able to do some of the same things for a couple of reasons. One, it saves you the $350 fee that's paid annually. And number two, it eliminates the need for double entry. So you no longer have to put something into SWIS and also put it into Q, which is going directly into Q. To be able to do this effectively, because now we are allowing teachers to be able to enter in referral data directly into the system, we wanted to make sure that we had a really robust training program to eliminate error and make sure that everything was equitable across the district, so that no two schools are implementing things differently. We're really consistent about it because we want to be able to use this information as a whole district to be able to figure out what's going on our campuses and make decisions to support sites accordingly. So basically, this training program, phase one, is for your teachers on your campus to be able to go through this module series. It takes about 20 to 40 minutes depending on your pacing and how many times you may need to review the material before you pass the course. But basically, your teachers are going to go through that training module. You could do it together at a staff meeting if you want to, or you could have teachers do it at their own pace. But I have to have every single teacher on your campus complete the module series and receive 100% on the test or on the quizzes as they go through the course in order to be able to go to the second phase. So just so you know, the modules will go over when do I enter a minor referral, when do I enter a major referral, the process for how to do that, as well as some guidelines, and then also how do I be able to use the widget thing on Q to be able to see referrals that were made by me and made to me. So we're hoping that this will improve communication also from site to site because these behaviors will go into Q. If a school transfers or a student transfers from one school to another, that new school will be able to have all of this data, whereas with SWIS we weren't able to transfer information from one school to another. So now it's like being able to take what we used to have in visits and making it something that we can actually get data from. So rather than just a narrative of what happened, we can actually look at it by location, time of day, motivating factors, and things like that. So right now we're starting with PBIS schools. That was a decision that was made at the district level because you already have the things in place to be able to help make those decisions in an informed and intentional way, such as having a disciplinary flow chart. So that's a big deal. So it already shows that you have a process to be able to teach how to identify between minors and majors, and that's helpful. So teachers will go through this, they'll go through the module series, and then once it's completed, we'll be able to look and compare the list of your staff with the list of people who have completed the training. And once all of your staff have completed it, then we'll schedule a short staff meeting where I'll come out and I'll answer any questions that people had while they went through it. Some of those like, what if this, or how about this, or what happens when questions. And then once we feel like your staff is good to go and solid on the training, then what we'll do is I will let our technology department know that you guys have met those requirements, and that part of Q will become accessible for your site. Now, a couple questions have already come my way about if you have somebody that's been referred or entering in referral information, can that person enter in referrals for everybody on their site? And the answer is no. Only administrators have access to all of the students on a campus. Teachers only have access to their own students through Q. So unlike SWIS, where you could, once you add a kid, anybody can access or add students, with the Q version, we are only able to enter in referrals for students that are on your roster. So that is a minor difference. So for that reason, we want everybody on a campus to be trained on it, not just the person that used to be entering SWIS data, because now we're almost eliminating the need for that person, because teachers are able to put in their own referral information. And so it just goes straight into the system. For administrators, just so you know, you will be able to see all of the referrals that are coming in. If they're minors, you're just going to have to go in and kind of look at those on your own and be able to make sure that they're entered in correctly, because the teacher will be making the referral to themselves to be able to file that. Whereas if it's anything that's a major violation, if it's suspendable, they won't be able to enter it into the system. They'll need to refer that student to administration. Administration will enter the major referral. But if it's one of those majors that they've kind of worked their way down the flow chart, it's now considered major disruption, but they're not going to be suspended. They're still doing their classroom-based discipline, or maybe referring to an intervention team for support. Then teacher can enter in that major, and an email will be sent directly to admin saying, a major referral was completed, and the admin is the one that gets to decide whether it goes into Clovis Unified's data or whether it goes to state reporting and then becomes an incident. So there's still a lot of admin oversight with this to make sure, again, that the data is reported accurately and appropriately, but hopefully streamlining things and making Q a place where we can actually get data that's meaningful and helpful at our site level. So hopefully that answers any questions. Please let me know what your staff list is. We will then, once we have the staff list to be able to compare to, send you a link to your site for your teachers to sign up for the course. And then that way we'll be able to compare who's completed it, who needs to complete it, and those teachers or you will receive emails as needed to be able to make sure that we're moving forward and getting your site good to go. This is right now kind of an optional thing. We're starting with PBIS sites, but it is the intention that every school will be inputting behavior data in this manner. So we're learning a lot from you guys as you go through it, and just know that this is something that's eventually going to be district-wide and more mandatory or expected. So thank you, and let me know again if you have any questions.